Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're stepping into the ring with Hajime no Ippo. Now, okay, it's an anime about boxing, I get it. But honestly, the life lessons in there, they pack a serious punch.
Oh, absolutely. Even if you think, animated sports aren't really your scene, stick around.
Yeah.
Because the heart of this story, what we're really digging into today, it connects with anyone who's ever, chased a goal or gotten knocked down, figuratively or sometimes literally.
Exactly. It's surprisingly universal.
It is. And it's fascinating how this whole boxing world becomes a lens, a lens for looking at things like resilience, believing in yourself, just personal growth. So our mission today really is to unpack this document we have, standupandfight.txt. It sort of boils down key bits from the anime. And we want to pull out some empowering ideas you can actually use in your own life, your own challenges.
Right. So let's start with the main guy, Ippo Makinuchi. The document paints him, initially, as just this very ordinary teenager, super shy, zero confidence, gets bullied a lot. It sounds like, rock bottom almost.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's kind of the point, isn't it? It shows that big changes can come from really humble, really difficult beginnings. His weakness, his vulnerability at the start, it just highlights how his will to try, that becomes his main weapon, really.
His main asset, yeah.
We see him where maybe a lot of us have been, feeling lost, not sure how to even start building, strength inside and out.
And the document really highlights those early struggles. It makes it clear Ippo wasn't some, secret genius waiting to be discovered. He didn't have the skills. He didn't have the strength, not naturally. Not the confidence either.
Nope.
But the thing that keeps coming up is he just kept showing up.
Right.
Exactly. He kept going back. He'd get hit. He'd fall behind in training, but he'd be back at the gym the next day. There's something really powerful in that. Just the act of consistently being there.
Yeah, persistence.
Persistence, grit, whatever you want to call it. That passion and sticking with it for the long haul, even when things get tough. The document puts it so well. You don't have to be the best. You just have to keep showing up.
It's like compound interest for effort, Yeah. And it nails that point about talent, too. Talent's great. But if it gives up, persistence wins. Happens all the time, not just in boxing.
Okay, so he keeps showing up, putting in the work, and then the document talks about how that starts to pay off. Slowly, though.
Oh, definitely not overnight. It's very gradual, little by little, punch by punch, I think is the phrase used.
Right. And that first proper fight he has,
yeah,
he's the massive underdog. Everyone expects him to lose.
Yeah.
But the key thing, the document says, wasn't that he suddenly knew he'd win. It was just that he had enough belief to try. That feels important.
It's huge. That tiny spark of belief, just enough to take the first step, that's the catalyst. And then the consistent work, that's the fuel. And also really key, like the document points out, his journey isn't just win after win. He loses. He doubts himself, big time. But what defines him is getting back up after those falls, that resilience, that a whole cycle, get knocked down, get back up. That's where the real growth happens.
It really does make you think about your own stuff, doesn't it? Those times you faced your own, knockdowns, a setback at work maybe, or something personal, or just doubting yourself. And somehow you kept going.
Yeah.
We all have that resilience, maybe more than we realize sometimes.
We absolutely do. And the boxing ring, it just becomes this great metaphor for bigger life lessons. The document lists a few themes that Hajime no Ippo really captures well. Things like facing your fears head on, building discipline, respecting your rivals or opponents.
Yeah, respect is a big one in the show.
Huge. And holding on to self-belief, especially when, everyone else is telling you can't do it.
Something else that struck me from the document was about Ippo's why. His main motivation. It wasn't just about being the world champ, was it? It was more about finding himself.
Yeah.
Understanding what being strong meant to him.
Exactly. It's that internal journey, that self-discovery, which honestly is probably a much more sustainable motivator than just chasing external validation. Right?
Definitely. Less fragile.
Yeah. And that leads to the question the document poses for you listening. What are your goals? Not just what you want to achieve, but who are you trying to become through the process?
That's a deep one.
It is. It's asking you to look inside, define your own kind of strength, your own success.
And it's a good reminder, too, that everyone's timeline is different. Your path is yours alone.
Totally.
The document hits this really hard. Don't be ashamed of starting slow. Be ashamed of never starting at all. Oof. That lands.
It cuts right through the procrastination, doesn't it? The fear of not being perfect right away. It says, look, the real regret isn't messing up. It's not even trying. And that really brings us to the call to action inspired by Ippo. If you're feeling tired right now, maybe lost, discouraged, try picturing Ippo. The document describes him, alone, training like mad, pushing himself,
Getting knocked down again and again.
and always finding a way to get back on his feet.
Such a powerful image. Resilience personified.
It really is. And the document points out something vital. You're not going to win every single fight. You just won't.
True.
But the only real loss, the only true defeat, is when you decide to just give up. Stop trying.
And that applies everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? School, dreams, career, health, anything.
Absolutely everything. So the encouragement here from the document, from Ippo's example, is to, well, get up, do your training, whatever that means for you, learning something new, practicing a skill, just trying that thing you've been putting off.
Yeah, take that first step.
Take the step, and remember, you're doing it for your growth, your achievement, not just for what other people think. It's about your journey, pushing your own limits.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, drawing from that standupandfight.txt document and the spirit of Hajime no Ippo, hopefully some of these ideas stick with you. And hey, if something resonated, maybe share it. Pass it on to someone who could use a bit of encouragement.
Yeah, definitely. And always remember that core idea. You are the main character in your story. Your challenges, your journey, your potential.
Wow.
It all matters a great deal.
Couldn't agree more. So keep showing up, keep learning, keep pushing yourself, and yeah, keep fighting for who you want to become.